She sleeps 3 to 4 hours a night. She's out the door by 6:30 in the morning and she's still working at 11 p.m. She's a $3 million producer and she is completely stuck. That's a real advisor. We'll call her Kim. And on a recent call, when someone on my team asked her how she was holding up, she said, "I'm dying. I'm hyperventilating." If you're an advisor grinding 60, 70, 80 hours a week and you still can't break through, I need you to hear this. The problem was never your effort, and working more hours is about to make it worse. I own an independent RIA. I practice what I preach. And a few years ago, I installed this exact model in my own agency, and we scaled from zero to $50 million a year in annuity production in 2 years. But here's why I'm making this video. My team and I talk to advisors every single week, and the ones who scare me the most aren't the lazy ones. They're the hardest working people in the entire industry. They're sleeping less than anyone, driving farther than anyone, sacrificing more than anyone, and they're stuck in exactly the same place they were 2 years ago. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you three things. Why your hours stop paying you back, the one reframe that the advisors who escape this actually make, and what the week looks like on the other side, because it's not the week you think. Let's get into it. Let me tell you about a few of these advisors because you're going to recognize yourself in at least one of them. Kim, the one I mentioned earlier, she spent $50,000 on radio that did nothing for her. She's got Edward Jones right next door and an LPL advisor across the street. So she gets in her car and drives 100 miles to find a market nobody else has touched yet. Then there's an advisor I'll call Maria. She runs 80 to 100 hours a week. She drives from Daytona to Miami for appointments. She's been a top producer 4 years running. On a recent call, she said, "I was a top producer for 4 years in a row, did all of their extended trips, got all their bonuses, and they treat you like crap." And then there's Tim. Tim is on the other end of the spectrum. He's a high tier producer. The night before his call with us, he told his wife he was going to hit $20 million this year. And here's what he said about his actual day. "I'm getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep. That's not sustainable, but there's no margin in that. There's very little margin in my day right now." So you've got Kim grinding at 3 million and you've got Tim grinding at the top of the game, and they're saying the exact same thing. I have no room left. None of these people have an effort problem. Here's what's actually happening to them and to you. When you don't have a system, every hour you add returns a little less than the hour before it. The first 40 hours a week are productive. The next 20 are maintenance. And the 20 after that, you're just keeping the plates spinning. You're working, but you're not compounding. Picture a graph. On the bottom, the hours you work, going up and up. And the line for your production climbs at first, and it bends. And it goes flat. You can add more hours forever, and the line barely moves. That's not a motivation problem. That's the math of effort without a system underneath it. You cannot outwork a broken process. You can only exhaust yourself faster inside of it. So if the answer isn't more hours, what is it? Well, the advisors who get out of all of this make one shift first, and it's not the one you'd expect. It's not tactical. It's actually emotional. Go back to Kim for a second. On that call, she was carrying this guilt about spending money on herself and her own business, like investing in a real system was somehow selfish, somehow taking away from the grind. And the person on my team gave her the airplane metaphor. You know the one. When the cabin loses pressure, you put your own oxygen mask on first, then you help the people next to you. And Kim's response was immediate. She said, "I'm dying. I'm hyperventilating. And that's why." And she trailed off. That's the whole thing right there. She'd been so busy trying to keep everyone else breathing that she forgot she was suffocating. Here's the principle underneath the metaphor. You cannot serve clients at your best when you're running on 3 hours of sleep. You can't think strategically when every minute is triage. The thing you keep deprioritizing, building a real system, is the oxygen mask. It's not the reward you get after you've earned it. It's the thing that lets you do everything else. And I want to name something the burned out grind hides, because it shows up on every one of these calls that we have constantly. A lot of advisors tell themselves, I just need more hours. But underneath, what they're really feeling is doubt. One advisor put it flat out: I have doubt on myself. More hours is what self doubt buys when it can't find a system it trusts. You pile on effort to make up for the thing you're not sure is going to work. The fix for that isn't more hours, it's a system that produces whether or not you're feeling confident that day. Now, once an advisor actually makes the shift, the first thing they want to see is the math. So, let me show you exactly what changes hour for hour. First, let me show you the most expensive symptom of the grind: the driving. Kim drives 100 miles to find a fresh market. Maria drives Daytona to Miami for a single appointment. Think about what that actually is. When your only strategy is to outwork the advisor next door, you eventually run out of people nearby who haven't heard your pitch. So you expand your territory. You burn gas. You burn hours. You burn entire days in the car just to find someone who hasn't been pitched yet. That's not work ethic. That's a tax you're paying because you don't have a system that brings people to you. So let me put 2 weeks next to each other. Here's the grind week: 60 to 80 hours, a big chunk of it on prospecting that produces inconsistent results, another big chunk lost to driving and chasing, and at the end of it, basically 0 hours left for your family, your health, or thinking past tomorrow. Now, here's the system week: 15 to 20 hours a week working through a branded system that's actually giving you leverage on your time. 1 hour a day calling prospects who already know your name because they engaged with your content. Sometime each day sharpening your skills, a few coaching calls a week to course correct when you're off, and the rest of your time goes to closing business and living your life. Look at what happened there. The total hours went down. The production actually goes up, not because you worked harder, because every hour you spent was pointed at something that compounds instead of something that resets. And going virtual is what kills the geographic tax entirely. Your territory stops being a 100-mile radius and becomes the whole country without you leaving your office. And I know what the skeptic in you is thinking. That sounds nice, but does it actually work for real people, or is it just a nice pitch? Fair. So let me introduce you to two of them. There's an advisor named Pierre. He travels about 6 weeks every summer, not from his desk, not squeezing it in between appointments. He's actually gone. And last summer, he closed $360,000 rollovers at 11 p.m. while he was overseas in Spain. He did $83,000 in commissions in his first 9 days after he signed up with Juicebox, and that was before his marketing had even fully launched. If you want to learn how he did that, find the Fast Cash strategy right here on this channel. Then there's Megan. She came from face to face life insurance sales. Her first year on this system, she did $250,000 in commissions while she was pregnant with her first child. She's now doing $350,000 a year working from home, present for her family. For her, the headline was never the money, it was the time. The money math is nice. The time math, that's what changed her life. So let me be really clear about what I'm actually telling you to do, because it's not work less and hope. The goal of one of these campaigns I'm talking about is to help an advisor add $5 million or more a year in annuity production completely virtual. That's the target. And whether you land at 5 or push well past it comes down to your skill and your experience, the very things you've spent all these years building. So this was never hustle versus no hustle. It's hustle pointed at a hamster wheel versus the same hustle pointed at a system that compounds. Same work ethic, same person, completely different trajectory. You're not the problem. You're the hardest worker inside a process that punishes hard work with diminishing returns. Change the process, and that work ethic finally starts paying you what it's worth. And the single biggest lever on that, the thing that takes back your nights and erases the 100-mile drive at the same time, is the move to virtual. Here's where I'd start. The grind and the geographic trap are really the same problem wearing two costumes, and going virtual solves both at once. But most advisors hear virtual and panic because they think it means torching the seminars and the in person business that kept the lights on. It doesn't. I made a video called Virtual versus Seminars that walks through the three models: virtual only, hybrid, and seminar only. So you can pick the right mix for where you are right now without throwing away what already works. If the 60-hour week is costing you more than it's paying you, watch that one next. It's right here. And if you're already exhausted and you just want to see what a system would look like for your specific territory, the link to book a call with my team is in the description. I'll see you in the next one.